Distinguished President of the Human Rights Council, ministers, dear colleagues, guests, I am honored to be here in Geneva today for 55th session of the Human Rights Council. I wish to start by reminding to all of us that the human rights are not only one of the main pillars of the United Nations work, but touch all aspects of our everyday lives. Unfortunately, the human rights violation around the world continues. The beginning of the high-level segment of the Human Rights Council in 2024 coincides with the second anniversary of the start of the Russians' unprovoked and unjustified aggression against Ukraine. After 2 years, the war is still going on and continues to have a devastating impact on human lives. In times like this, the Human Rights Council, the main intergovernmental body within the United Nations system responsible for strengthening and the promotion and protection of human rights around the globe, needs a strong and principled leadership. Here, I would like to thank President Ambassador Václav Balek of Czechia for his work and strong leadership, and to congratulate Ambassador Omar Zniber of Morocco on assuming the presidency of this body, and wish you a successful mandate. You can count on Slovakia's support in your endeavors. Now, dear colleagues, I would like to focus on a few concrete topics where we see the strong mandate of the Human Rights Council. Mr. President, when it comes to the current situation in Gaza, Slovakia calls for a balanced approach. Following Hamas' October 7 terrorist attack against Israel, Jewish communities globally experience a dramatic upsurge in anti-Semitic incidents. Hate and fear has no place in today's world. It is dangerous and unacceptable. Leaders and civil society must work together to stand up against this type of violence and hate speech. We should perceive these alarming trends as a threat of each of us. At the same time, if we talk about moral obligations, we also have legal ones: to observe international humanitarian law, international law, and finally, human rights. We cannot allow the dehumanization of more than 2 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip because of the crimes of about 3,000 militants. Millions of civilians, women and children cannot be punished collectively. Slovakia emphasizes the validity of universal human rights all over the planet, including protection of civilians in conflicts. Mr. President, unfortunately, the human rights situation is alarming in other regions too. We recognize that the full enjoyment of human rights is not possible without providing equal opportunities for everyone. The very first article of the UN Charter highlights the importance of promoting respect for human rights and freedoms for everyone without distinction. In Kenya, for example, our projects contribute to improving health care for mothers and children, raise awareness and fight against gender-based violence, improve access and conditions for education of girls and women, support their economic empowerment and access to decision-making processes. We also support activities of local NGOs to increase women's participation in peace and security processes, including conflict prevention and resolution. Mr. President, the last topic I would like to concentrate on touches the new generation of human rights, the human rights in online space. Living in the digital era entails not only advantages in advancing promotion and protection of human rights, but also risk of human rights violation, such as censorship, intimidation, hate speech, surveillance, disinformation, or data misuse. The field of science, technology, and innovation should be safe and inclusive, a civic space in which both the right to freedom of opinion and expression and the right to privacy are protected, and where harmful stereotypes are countered. Slovakia welcomes initiative to ensure a free and secure digital future for all, respecting human rights, including the Global Digital Compact, being discussed in New York under the Summit of the Future umbrella. Dear Mr. President, honorable guests, dear colleagues, let me finish by assuring you that Slovakia will continue to work closely with the Human Rights Council and will support its efforts. We have always been a strong supporter of a collective and effective multilateralism. This is one of the main reasons why Slovakia has presented the candidacy for a non-permanent membership at the UN Security Council for year 2028-29. We will strive for constructive solutions while respecting international law. I believe that only by working together we will be able to respond to urgent human rights challenges around the world. Thank you for your attention.
price in some parts of the world with their life. It is therefore vital that in South Sudan also, that the mandate of the Commission on Human Rights is extended. Mr. President, let me put it succinctly. Those who violate those rights must be held to account. For our part, the United Kingdom will continue to support all efforts and work most constructively, including this very Council, to ensure that is the case. Human rights, Mr. President, and their protection and strengthening across the world is the ultimate noble objective of this very Council. Defending human rights is not a nice to do, it should not be a periphery, it is fundamental in how we advocate the defending of other rights, of all rights, irrespective of who we are, where we are. Indeed, it is a litmus test, and I end with something that I believe in most earnestly as the United Kingdom's Human Rights Minister, that the real litmus test of defending human rights is not our ability to defend ourselves, to stand up for our own rights. It's the ability to articulate, advocate, and stand up for the rights of others. Mr. President, thank you so much.